My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with a daily reading update. Today is the 12th of September. Happy Thursday, everybody. So I have a rant before I get into today's video because this just happened again and I'm frustrated. So this is about telecom companies, by the way, cell phone, internet cable providers. So we have, both Garrett and I have our cell phones and the internet through a company here. I'm not going to name the company. There are two major telecom companies here in Canada, and then there's a lot of smaller ones, but they're all owned by the big one. So there's really only two. So anyway, I've been a customer of theirs for over 15 years, I'd say. Yeah, since Garrett and I, since when Garrett and I met and moved in together. And we've really never had a problem. I mean, here and there I've been late on a bill and it happens. Well, right now my circumstances have changed dramatically. And I got the bill, and I know how it's the same amount every single month. And I knew how much it was, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at what I'm getting paid. And I'm like, okay, if I pay half out of this bill and half out of my next bill, that gets everything paid and it doesn't leave us broke. But unfortunately, I am late on the payment, which means I'm going to incur late charges, and I get all that. I understand that. So, I paid my half on Tuesday. So it was Tuesday. But before that, so the bill was due on, let's say a week ago today. Let's say it was last Thursday. Wasn't paid on Thursday. I got 6 phone calls from this company on Friday. I got another 10 phone calls over the weekend. I got 7 phone calls on Monday, and I got a whole bunch of phone calls on Tuesday. So I paid that half, and then yesterday I got a bunch of calls too, and I'm just like, I'm done with this. So I went online and I did what's called a promise to pay. So like, okay, I will pay you the rest of it on this date. And they gave me the date. They said by this date, and I'm like, yep, no problem, I'll pay it by that date. I'll actually pay it before that, hopefully. Not an hour later, they called me again. Now, when they call, I never answer because it's always just a pre-recorded message, right? But this time I answered it, went through and got through to an actual person. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I appreciate you guys are trying to collect money, but you're worse than the mob. Like, I did a promise to pay. Like, I even gave my card number and all those things. And, I'm still getting, these calls. I don't understand why that is the situation. And the girl on the phone, she says to me, she's like, well, you're listed as, someone to call back. And I'm like, but I made this payment arrangement thing basically. Well, that doesn't matter. We will still call you. I was furious. I was absolutely livid. And then she says to me, well, you can just ignore the calls. Like every couple of hours, I'm getting a phone call from you guys. Every few hours. And before you guys come at me, yes, I may have bought some books on Tuesday and spent some money, but that money was actually a gift card and I spent $5 of my own money. $5 was not going to make or break my cell phone bill or my internet bill. So yeah, it's just, you're late once and then all of a sudden, no matter how good of a customer you've been, none of that matters. And it just makes me mad. So I just had to vent on that this morning. Sorry. So yesterday I did not get a ton of reading done because I ended up actually kind of being lazy. They gave me my 3rd and final booster for my hepatitis B vaccine because once you've been transplanted, once I received the transplant, I cannot be vaccinated again for anything is my understanding. No flu shots, no COVID vaccines. So somebody mentioned that they're probably going to give me a booster of the COVID vaccine before I get transplanted, maybe even the flu vaccine because the season is coming. Because of the anti-rejection drugs, you can't be given stuff like that. So, yay! But it was just more my arm was sore and it just made me feel just kind of blah all over. So I did that. So anyway, needless to say, I did finish a book yesterday. I finished reading The Babysitter's Super Special #1, which was Babysitters on Board. I gave it 4 stars. Again, Karen drove me insane. At one point in the book, Karen is Christy's 6-year-old little stepsister. She takes off. She, for one, I don't know what these parents were thinking. Now, this was in the late 80s that this book was published. They let the 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds have free reign on this cruise ship. Just go wherever they wanted on this cruise ship. They're 10 and 11 years old. And then Christy takes her 3 like younger siblings, the stepbrother and stepsister and her brother, swimming. And Karen forgot her earplugs, and she's like, I need to go back to the room. And Christy lets her go by herself. She's 6. What does this little brat do? She goes and gets a manicure, and then she goes to the restaurant and orders like all this stuff and charges it to the room. I'm like, that is absolutely ridiculous. Have a wonderful night, my dear.
Thanks. Have a good day.
And so anyway, I was floored, and I'm like, that nobody disciplines her. Christy's like, oh, I'm so mad at you for doing that. And she's like, I'm sorry. And then it's all fine. And then later when they're at Disney World, during, you know, those breakfasts with the characters and stuff, I have to wonder during this entire book, did they get royalties from Disney? Because Disney was mentioned like every chapter. But anyway, so they had this breakfast, and this one little boy, it was his birthday. So everybody sang to him. So Karen's like, well, I want to be the center of attention too. So she stands up and announces it's her birthday, and it's not. And again, does she get disciplined? No. So the entire book, that was my takeaway. I did enjoy it. It's not my favorite of the super specials. The one thing I find sometimes with them, as much as I like them, is that too many things are happening in such a short place. Like, you're only getting these like little snapshots of stories. Like, Claudia had a secret admirer. Dawn found a boy that she liked. Christy befriended this older man. There was, you know, this potential stowaway on board. Some of the kids thought they found a treasure map. Like, there's all these things that were happening in a 200 and some odd page book. So, but it is fun. It is fun to see the babysitters out of their element and stuff like that. So I did enjoy it. And I'm now only about 35% of the way through Burden of Poof by Julianne Lindsay. I spent some time yesterday too trying to work out my category romance project. So a lot of you have had some great ideas, so thank you for that. But anyway, I have been rambling on. I'm sorry about my rant first thing this morning, but now I feel better. And the main reason I want to come on and rant is because they've already called me once this morning. It's 8 o'clock. I'm just like, if I could pay you, I would. But unfortunately, you're going to have to wait like everybody else. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have wonderful days. Take care and happy reading. Bye, everybody.